Of soap and the detergent. Soaps are derived from the fats and oil by saponification with sodium hydroxide. Soaps, when hydrolyzed with water, the resulting fatty acids increase the organic content of the water, which in turn leads to the depletion of dissolved oxygen. Soaps in detergent reduces aeration of water due to the production of foams, and they had the disadvantage of getting precipitated in the presence of dissolved oxygen. So these are the effects of the soap and detergent when they are going to mix with the water. Effects of the microorganisms. If the microorganisms microbes are present in the water, they may cause the very much diseases like flesh-eating diseases, staph infections, meningitis, pneumonia, tuberculosis, cholera, dysentery. These are the problems which are related to water, and so these are also called the waterborne diseases, and this is because of the presence of microorganisms in the water. So these must be removed from the water, and for this purpose we need a purification process, a water purification process. We are going to study in detail the different steps of the water purification. So dear students, in rural areas it may be safe to take water directly from those sources which are contaminated, but ensuring that water is fit to drink involves several stages of purification. First of all, the water passes through the screens which remove large pieces of debris such as pieces of vegetation. If the water is acidic, lime is added to increase its pH value, and then water which often contains tiny particles that make it look cloudy. These particles are too small to settle or be filtered off. The process of flocculation is used to clarify the water. A flocculating agent such as aluminum hydroxide is added to the water, and this coats the particles and causes them to stick together so they become larger. The water is left in settling tanks where sedimentation takes place. Most of the particles sink to the bottom of the settling tank. The remaining particles are removed by filtration, first through a layer of activated carbon or anthracite coal, and then through sand. The activated carbon layer removes organic molecules which make the water smelly or give it an unpleasant taste. Filter beds also contains bacteria that break down harmful substances in the water. The filter water is disinfected by chlorination. Chlorine gas is bubbled through the water which kills off many microorganisms, harmful or not. In some countries, iodide or fluoride are added to the drinking water as they are beneficial for the user. After treatment, the water is settled in the storage tanks, and from where it is distributed through the pipes to the users. So this is the water purification and its different steps which I have discussed with you. Now we are moving towards very important aspect, and that is water desalination. Desalination means to remove the unwanted salts quantity from the water, so it can be drinkable, and its harmful effects of the extra salts which are not needed by the body must be controlled. There are three ways which are commonly used for desalination: electrodialysis, reverse osmosis, and distillation. Dear students, in your syllabus, the distillation process is being discussed. So desalination in the laboratory is done by distillation process using the separators, and you are, I think, well aware of this separators. We use a flask in which salt water is added, and then we heat it and this water converts into the vapors, and then these vapors are condensed and collected in another flask. You can see with the help of this diagram, a condenser is used to cool down the vapors coming from the flask, and then the water is collected in another flask, and this is pure water. Dear students, in countries like Abu Dhabi and in the Middle East, less than 3/4 of the water used comes from the underground sources. Another source of fresh water is needed, and there is an unlimited amount of water available in the sea, but it cannot be consumed. The salts it contains must be removed before it becomes fresh water. In order to do this, the seawater must be passed through desalination plant, and the thermal desalination is done in these countries. You can see from this diagram, the water is turned into steam by heating, and the water's steam is then cooled down to get the fresh water, and this is very expensive because it takes a lot of energy, and for this reason desalination plants are often operated in conjunction with the power stations, so that the waste heat generated by the power stations can be used profitably. So the Arab countries are using this process very frequently to produce electricity as well as the fresh water. Dear students, now I have selected a question for you, and you have to discuss in detail the process of desalination, which is present on the chapter number 14 of your book, page number 318, and you have to write the answer of this question and send into your respective groups. So thank you very much, dear students, for being with me, and one more request: please stay at home and stay safe. Allah Hafiz.